You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words nearly 2,000 years ago, not for the public, not for history, not for posterity. He wrote them for himself. In a private journal he never intended anyone to read. There was no audience, no publisher, no expectation of fame. Just a man, alone with his thoughts, trying to become better than he was the day before. He was a most powerful man in the world, emperor of Rome, commander of the greatest army on earth, master of an empire that stretched from Scotland to the deserts of the Middle East. And yet, every morning, he sat down and reminded himself of one simple truth. The only thing you truly control is your own mind, not what people think of you, not what happens to you, not the weather, the economy, or the actions of others. Only your response to them, only the way you choose to interpret the world, only the thoughts you decide to hold on to, and the ones you decide to let go. This was not a comforting thought for Marcus. It was not a motivational poster or a morning affirmation. It was a discipline, something he had to practice every single day. Because even an emperor struggles with anger, anxiety, and the crushing weight of responsibility. Marcus Aurelius was born in 121 AD in Rome, into a wealthy and respected family. He was noticed early for his intelligence and seriousness. At the age of 17, he was adopted by Emperor Antoninus Pius, chosen not for his bloodline, but for his character. He spent the next 2 decades preparing to rule, studying Stoic philosophy under some of the greatest teachers of his age, learning law, rhetoric, and the slow, unglamorous art of good judgment. When he finally became emperor in 161 AD, he inherited an empire under enormous pressure. Wars on the northern and eastern borders demanded his constant attention. A devastating plague swept through the empire, killing millions of people across decades. Political conspiracies threatened stability from within the palace walls. He spent more years of his reign on military campaigns than he ever did in Rome, and through all of it, he kept writing. Every night in Greek, the language of philosophy, he recorded his thoughts, his failures, his doubts, and his attempts to do better. These notes were never meant to be a book. They were never meant to be read by anyone. They were a man talking honestly to himself, holding himself accountable, trying day after day to live according to his own values. We know them today as meditations, one of the most widely read works of philosophy in human history, written by a man who never wanted anyone to read it. So what did Marcus actually mean by power over your mind? He didn't mean you can think your way out of genuine pain. He didn't mean your emotions are weakness or that suffering is simply a choice. He meant something far more precise and far more practical, that between any event and your reaction to it there is a space, a brief moment of awareness, and in that space, however small, you choose. Someone insults you in front of others. You don't control that, but you control whether it defines the rest of your day or whether you let it pass like weather. You lose something important, a job, a relationship, an opportunity you worked years for. You don't control that either, but you control how long you carry it and what you decide it means about your future. You face uncertainty so large it feels impossible to navigate. Marcus faced that every single day. Wars, plague, death, the fate of millions resting on his decisions. And still he wrote each morning the same reminder to himself: focus only on what is yours. This is the heart of Stoic philosophy. Not toxic positivity, not pretending things are fine when they aren't, just the quiet, stubborn, daily decision to place your energy where it can actually make a difference, on your own thoughts, your own actions, your own character. Marcus Aurelius ruled the known world for nearly 2 decades. He had more external power than almost any human being in history. And every single morning he reminded himself that none of it mattered as much as this one thing. Your mind is yours. What will you do with it?